Follow me.
See you, Mr. President.
Shall we make our way through, please?
Good to see you.
Hartman, not speaker. Auto. Yeah. Okay, now.
George Bush. I say again, if you did not have your picture taken, that's all now, Mr. President. Now hold your position after that picture, because we want one other picture taken with the two presidents. Mayor, we'll find these to Palm. It is a beautiful shot. The mayor and president-to-be with two ex-presidents.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Can you, I would say breaking to like
Okay, thank you. Don't go away, because this is our moment of the evening. Rabbi, you all. Ladies and gentlemen, a dream came to a man's mind some time ago, and that man had behind him a very famous, beautiful woman. Bob Pond dreamed about having a Palm Springs Air Museum, and Joseph is behind him going like this. Yes, do it.
Well, thank you all for coming, and thank you, Dennis, for those kind words. It was a dream. All of a sudden I woke up, and here it was all done. Actually, ground broke April 15th, and by June 1st, we sent the contractor on his way home. And we started taking over building of the interior of the things that we wanted to do. But in any event, thank you all for coming. This has been important to us, not only this event, but the gala that many of you also attended. And we hope to have a couple a year each time, make it interesting and exciting, so that you'll want to come back again. Now it's my pleasure at this point to present a naval aviator, former President of the United States, President George Bush, and Mrs. Bush. We'd like to have President Bush say just a couple of words, and hopefully Barbara might even say a couple of words. Oh, that'd be great. We also want to give a special thanks to President Ford and Mrs. Ford, and also, of course, the host. We love you all. Thank you so much for coming.
One of which I flew in another couple of years, and I will single-handedly have won the war next year.
I flew this, nobody gives a damn anymore. But anyway,
We're delighted to be here, and of course proud of Bob Pond and what he's brought to this community and what he's really preserved for our country. I, of course, want to salute Betty and Gerald Ford, who showed me so much class and gave me so much opportunity when various assignments he had me perform, and all of it leading to being president. And of course, everybody's friend, and we all look up to Bob and Dolores so much. So this is a very special time for Barbara and me. And now, having given her that round of applause, the woman who for 7 years in a row in some forgettable magazine has been most popular in the whole world, Barbara Bush.
Bonds and are very precious friends, the Fords and the Hopes and all of you. And I just want to tell you that he's very jealous. He's got a dog whose book outsold his. He's got a wife. He's got a son who's the governor of Texas. There's very little left, but he deserves that.
And very, very dear friends who represented our country in China. George was the head of the CIA, a darn good vice president and a first-class president. Congratulations.
The only thing I want to say is that I've been trying to find Barbara to sue her. They stole the last TV show. Both of them stole the show. And I've got a suit going for it.
Let me also, you hear that roar? You know what that is? No, that's your plane, the TBM Avenger. The torpedo bomber is coming right up to the door. This is the plane that President Bush, no joke, this is the type of plane that he to be commissioned as a pilot, 18 years of age. It's the crazy, crazy question. What was the last thought that went through your mind when you had to ditch?
Well,
Barbara said, you better say me. What was the first thought?
how the hell did he get out of there? I mean, it was on fire, and that was a long time ago. I hardly remember, but it was a marvelous plane to fly. It was, you could slow it down, and it was very stable. It was the biggest combat carrier plane in those days, but it was easier to land than these fighters, and three-pace. We had two gunners, a gunner up top in the turret and one in the tail gun with a 30 caliber, 250s firing forward, and a marvelous airplane. The TBF was Grumman, and then it went on. General Motors built a lot of them. They called them the TBM, but the dimensions were identical. But it's a wonderful, stable airplane with a lot of happy memories for me.
Now, another question for you. We have on the back of that airplane, Jenny. Now, would you explain that?
Well, I don't know, except that was the girlfriend then of the gunner. That's.
Are you sure?
Oh yes.
Now, just a minute. You said he had to think of you. Were you married at that time? Oh, what?
We were engaged. Why do you think Barbara was on the plane?
All right. Okay, I just want to get it all straight so the reporters here don't put it in National Enquirer or something about Jenny. Jenny was the gunner's girlfriend, right? And Barbara's on the front of the plane, and the president flew that thing. God bless you.
I recall that it was the last day that the fleet was going to be in Task Force 58 before it went south to join Halsey's fleet, 58 under Mitcher, 38 under Halsey. So I knew that our carrier was going to be heading south. I also was told by the intelligence officers that we could encounter fairly heavy fire. I knew that my target was a radio station. And we pushed over, and the minute we pushed over to dive from, I forget, we were around 10, 11,000 feet, maybe 9. But anyway, pushed on over, and you could just feel the danger, because you could see all the black puffs of anti-aircraft fires, highly concentrated, that you'd see a big black puff and then you go by it, and I figured we were in for a complicated dive, but some way about halfway down the run I was hit, and you could feel the plane go push forward like that, up and forward, and then suddenly it was all engulfed in flames, and I finished my bombing run, but by the time I pulled out over the ocean, the plane was really burning. The whole inside there's a lot of smoke, and the instruments, you could hardly contemplate them. I did have time to send out the Mayday message to what I hoped would be a submarine in the area. Our other pilots were nearby, so they could monitor all this, and they saw the plane was burning, so they knew we were in real trouble. And then I made the mandatory right-hand turn to take the slipstream off of the cabin, where the crewman, one of them, Delaney, was. Told him to bail out, and from there on, I'm a little unclear as to what happened, but it turns out that one of them got out, and his chute streamed, his chute were open. The other did not. I got out. I pulled the ripcord too early, and pulled it too early, and hit my head on the tail on the elevator, and hit me like that, and I think I was momentarily stunned, and when I came to, I was floating down into the sea, the parachute having been hung up on the tail of the aircraft for a while, because there were 2 or 3 of the pieces of pie sewn like a pie with all these different partitions, and 2 or 3 of them were missing, so I was going down a little faster than normal. Landed in the water, jettisoned my life jacket, and then realized that I had not hooked my life jacket to my parachute strap, and so I had to my life raft. So I had to swim over and recover the raft. It had fallen free, and one of the pilots following me zoomed down to show me where it was, climbed into that thing, and then set the record for paddling out sea because the wind was blowing me up on this island. Saw Chichijima, and you could see it very clearly, actually. The wind was blowing that way, so I had to keep paddling, rather vigorously swimming, lying down on my stomach. I had a .38 caliber pistol that I took out of its sheath. They had a waterproof sheath. I knew that in all likelihood they would put out after me, and turns out that they did. But the guy that came out looking for me, the Japanese, was gunned by one of our planes. I forget which one, Doug West maybe, but anyway, they sent him back. They sank him or sent him back into the island. And I remember being sick. I remember being scared, and I remember wondering what happened to the crewmen that were with me. That preoccupied a lot of my thinking. And I knew the fleet was going south, so I knew if I wasn't rescued, I would be captured. And it was a harrowing experience, and I had a lot to give thanks about to God.